Today, we're going to talk about a hidden danger that's lurking behind the walls of so many American homes. And we're going to use the city of Santa Ana, California as our case study to really understand this massive challenge. We're talking about electrical systems that were built for a world that, frankly, just doesn't exist anymore.
So, let me just ask you this straight up. Think about your house. You've probably got a brand new smart TV, maybe even an EV charging in the garage. But what about the system that's powering all of that? Is it secretly stuck in the past? For millions of us, the answer is a scary yes, and most people have no idea.
Okay, so let's dive in. Why are we zooming in on Santa Ana? Well, it's because the homes there are this perfect snapshot of a problem that's happening in cities all across the country. It's the perfect mix of old houses and brand new demands.
Now, you have to remember what life was like back then. In the 50s, 60s, and 70s, what did the average home really need to power? A fridge, some lights, maybe a TV. That's about it. The electrical panels they installed were totally fine for that era, but they were never ever designed for what was coming.
And this timeline just lays it all out, doesn't it? You start with these basic 60-amp panels. Then, in the 90s, central AC becomes pretty much standard. That's a huge power draw. And now we're plugging in electric cars, installing heat pumps, running smart homes. The gap between what our homes were built for and what we're asking them to do now is absolutely massive, and it's getting wider every single year.
And for a place like Santa Ana, you've got these other pressures that just make everything worse. You've got the salty air blowing in from the coast, which literally corrodes electrical connections. You've got long, hot summers, which puts a huge strain on the system from all the air conditioners running nonstop. And to top it off, a lot of these houses still have these old, outdated panels from brands with known safety problems, or even aluminum wiring, which can be a serious fire hazard. It's really a perfect storm of electrical stress.
So how do you know if your home has this problem? Let's talk about decoding the dangers. What are the actual warning signs you can look for? I'm telling you, these aren't just little quirks your house has. These are signals that your electrical system is screaming for help.
First on the list, the breaker that just keeps tripping. Look, a breaker is a safety switch. If it trips once in a while, okay, it's doing its job. But if you're going to the panel to reset the same breaker again and again, that is a massive red flag. Your house is telling you that circuit is either completely overloaded or there's a dangerous fault that could easily start a fire. And how about this one? Flickering or dimming lights. It's so easy to just write this off as a minor annoyance, right? But it's often a sign of something way more serious, like loose wiring somewhere. And you know what a loose electrical connection creates? Intense heat. It's a fire just waiting to happen.
Okay, listen closely. If you ever walk past your electrical panel and hear a buzzing or a humming sound, that is not normal. Your panel should be silent. That buzzing sound is often the sound of electricity arcing. It's literally jumping across the gap where it shouldn't be. That's a live, active electrical failure happening right in front of you.
Now, this is the most urgent sign of all. If you ever smell a weird, fishy, or plastic burning smell, and you can't figure out where it's coming from, check your outlets and your panel. That smell is the signature scent of electrical components getting so hot that they're literally melting. When you smell that, you could be just moments away from a fire.
And here's the bottom line, pulled right from our source material. None of these problems fix themselves. They only get worse. They're progressive failures that get more and more dangerous the longer you ignore them.
All right, so if that's the problem, what on earth is the solution? How do we take these old electrical systems and bring them safely into the 21st century? Well, it all comes down to bridging that gap and giving our homes the capacity they need for modern life. This comparison just makes it so obvious. That old 100-amp panel, it just can't hang. You try to run the air conditioning while you're charging your car and maybe using the microwave, and bam, you're walking to the breaker box again. But the new standard, the 200-amp panel, it's designed for exactly that. It can handle all of it at the same time without breaking a sweat. So this is the number I want you to remember. 200 amps. That's the new baseline. That's what you need for a home that's safe, convenient, and ready for the all-electric future that's already here.
Now, I know an upgrade like this might sound like a huge, intimidating job, but for a professional electrician, it's actually a very methodical, standardized process. So let's pull back the curtain and look at how it's done right.
It's really a simple three-step playbook. First, they diagnose everything. They'll even use tools like thermal imaging cameras to find hidden hotspots that are invisible to the naked eye. Then comes the actual work, ripping out the old, dangerous stuff and installing modern, safe components. And finally, and this is so important, they test
everything to make sure every single circuit is balanced, safe, and working perfectly.
But a modern system isn't just about having more power. It's about having smarter, better protection. Places like California have really led the charge with strict safety codes that require new technologies specifically designed to prevent electrical disasters.
First up is something called an AFCI. The best way to think of this is like a smoke detector, but for your wiring. It's constantly listening for the unique electrical crackle of a dangerous arc, like from a frayed cord or a nail that gets pounded into a wire. The second it detects that, it instantly cuts the power before that spark can turn into a flame. It's why they're required in bedrooms and living rooms now.
And the other piece of life-saving tech is the GFCI. Now, this one isn't designed to prevent fires. It's designed to prevent you from getting a deadly electric shock. It monitors the flow of electricity, and if it senses even a tiny fraction of that power going somewhere it shouldn't, like through your body, bam, it shuts off the circuit in milliseconds. That's why you see them in kitchens, bathrooms, and garages, anywhere near water.
So, let's wrap this all up. What are the big things to take away from this? Number one, millions of older homes just weren't built for the way we live today. Number two, those little things you might ignore, flickering lights, tripping breakers, they are serious warning signs. Don't ignore them. Number three, that 200-amp panel is the new gold standard for safety. And number four, those AFCI and GFCI protectors, they're absolutely non-negotiable safety features in a modern home. And finally, please, this kind of work has to be done by a licensed professional with permits. It's critical for your safety and for your home's value.
And that really leaves us with one last big question to think about. As we move faster and faster towards an all-electric future, with our cars, our stoves, our heating, your home's electrical system is becoming one of its most important features. So you have to ask yourself, is yours an asset that's ready for the future, or is it a dangerous liability that's holding you back?